off to India later tonight. And when we wonder, the BRICS Commission is there. We've seen some new entrants into that association, and now we are having the president being invited by the Indian president. You heard what Mr. Ngelale, the president's spokesperson, said about what the president plans to do. But for you, what would you say should be the priority of Nigeria leader as of today?
You mean in terms of the trip, what to expect from India?
In terms of the trip, absolutely, yes. In the deliverable, the benefit to Nigerians.
For me, I think the delegation led by the president, and I'm talking of the official delegation, will have to address the crisis inflicted on the country by the IMF and World Bank that are desperate to have Nigeria run as a peripheral capitalist system country. So we must get out of the dominance of the dollar, the domination of our economy by the dollar. And the president will be required to engage the Indian government, his colleague in India, the Prime Minister Modi, to see what can be done by way of a currency swap between India and Nigeria. Just last week, early last week, India bought crude oil to the tune of about $1 billion from UAE, imported crude oil worth $1 billion. India paid rupees, its own currency. And that is what the BRICS, members of the BRICS, have introduced to the global economy, i.e. that you can trade in your own currencies. And for me, that is an area the president will have to address in India. It's so crucial. India also buys our oil. Even if you don't want to go to the radical extent of saying, buy my oil and pay in naira, but you can still insist, you can still have an arrangement whereby you can avoid trading in dollars. And that is what some countries are doing. And some of them are in the G20. And happily, the Western countries, I read the position of the United States yesterday and Germany, that we're not opposed to the BRICS. We're not opposed to countries trading among themselves in their own currencies. So we should take advantage of this trip. The president should take advantage of the trip to enter into a currency swap with India. Because India has a large economy. India has the largest population in the world today. We must also learn from how India has been able to. You mentioned the rule of law. The rule of law is total. It means compliance with the Constitution and the provisions of other extant laws, including the Central Bank Act. Section 20 of the Central Bank Act has criminalized transacting any business in any foreign currency in Nigeria. So you cannot spend dollars in Nigeria to purchase houses, to collect rents, school fees, even government, some of the agencies of the government, like, customs, NIMASA, MPA, and the rest of them, charge dollars for services rendered by the government. This is unacceptable. And that is why there is so much pressure on the dollar. And that is why our economy, tied to the dollar, is in crisis. And we must arrest the ugly development, the dangerous development. And showing all this, no government official, No official of the central bank has challenged the fact that between Nigeria and China, we have a currency swap, a currency swap agreement that is valid and subsisting. But contrary to that agreement, and to the detriment of the economy, imports from India, China last year, were valued at $22 billion. All that should have been paid for in naira as opposed to dollars. So the central bank officials will have to be called to order by the regime, by the Bola Tinubu administration, to save the naira, to strengthen the naira by ensuring that nobody, including airlines operating in Nigeria, no organization, no individual is allowed to spend dollars in Nigeria or any other foreign currency. Apart from China, the central bank entered into an agreement with the Central Bank of China to defy that Nigerians who spend dollars and naira will buy goods in naira in your country. For your own business in Nigeria, you will transact your business in Nigeria in yuan. So that's an agreement. And so we must take advantage of that agreement.